With the new squad boss battle, you have 3 different choices for enemies you could take on. You have the red Hikaris, the blue Hikaris, and the green Hikaris. And so I'm going to be doing videos for how to beat each of these bosses on hard and nightmare mode. I have already done one for the green type. Now we are going to be talking about the blue type enemy. So the blue type enemy is a big jump from hard to nightmare difficulty. So today we're going to be going over hard difficulty, but the reason this particular stage is hard is because you cannot land debuffs on the enemy, meaning you can't do defense down or incapacitate. And so even if you run characters like Raya who can nuke, he can only nuke so hard because you're not able to get that additional damage from reducing their defense. And so you can buff him with William, you can buff him with Valtos, and then Rades is really just here to taunt and draw aggro away from Raya so he doesn't get one shot, as well as he does give damage resist and defense up, so those are technically buffs that go on Raya as well. And so just, buff Raya and he will do damage for you, and he'll make hard fairly easy to do at 200,000. But like going from hard to nightmare, don't expect this to work super well because it's still actually really quite difficult. Okay, so with that said, we're going to go ahead and get into this. I'll show you guys the gear that I have on Raya afterwards, but basically it's just all attack gear on him, and then speed gear on Valtos, and speed gear on William, and defense gear on Rades. Alright, so he does attack first, he doesn't attack all, but then you get to go. He also lowers your SP by 1, so you don't get your special move right at the start, but that doesn't really matter. You want to use Valtos's thing on Raya to give him increased accuracy. It's just an extra buff you can give to him. And then we're going to go ahead and buff Raya here. Okay, so all Williams buffs go on Raya. Raya's going to, I think he can steal buffs from the enemy. Yeah, the enemy has damage resist, so we're going to go ahead and do this. It removes the damage resist from the enemy and gives it to yourself, which is nice. So that's going to make it so you can hit a little bit harder. And then we're going to go ahead and do the defense up with Rades. And damage reduction as well, so that's just a bunch of buffs on Raya. And he died, so we reset. All right, here we go again. Let's see if Raya cannot die, please. Please, Raya. Let's not die this time. Okay, increased accuracy and magic attack. This does like a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, I'll do it on Raya. Status immunity, HP increase, attack increase, all that good stuff. Steal his buffs, give them to ourselves, and we do defense up. And target Rades, please, for the love of everything. Thank you. Rades takes it like a champ, right? So now we have Raya's ultimate, and we have a bunch of buffs on him. If we take a look at his buffs, 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter what they are, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buffs on Raya. And so whenever you use his ultimate, attacks after granting a 15% increased damage dealt buff for each active buff present. And if 2 or more active buffs are present, performs an extra attack on an enemy dealing 70% of the damage. So he should get 2 attacks here and hit pretty hard. Yep, that pretty much did it. Pretty dang close. Okay, a lot of damage right there. What do we want to do here? Let's go ahead and use this. It's going to give us Fortify just in case, and counterattack hopefully to Raya. I think Raya would still die if he gets attacked though, realistically, so a little bit nervous about that. But between our other characters, hopefully we can finish it up. Didn't quite hit as hard as I wanted Raya to. Ideally, like, Raya finishes that in 1 hit, but then you have the barrier from Rades on this turn, so like having Rades here is actually nice. You could run Mimosa instead and heal everybody, but I feel like Rades is a little bit better. Like, look at that barrier. He ain't getting through that barrier. And then from here, it's just a matter of getting Raya his attack. Give him extra defense. Alright, here comes the ult. Everybody's fine. We're good. We're good. Okay. Keep buffing Raya. Alright, and we're cutting it a little bit close, but there we go. Cut it a little bit close because he didn't nuke quite as hard as you would want him to. But that is how you can beat the hard version of the green squad boss. So hopefully that helped you guys out a little bit. And let's take a look at the gear that I had on him. So my gear is not the best or most ideal gear that you can have on Raya. It's decent, but it's not the best. Okay, so let's see. Where is he here? He's the only one that really matters for gear, right? Because he's doing all your damage. Other than that, I had mobility on Baltos. So we have an attack piece of gear. We have a crit piece of gear. And we have a penetration piece of gear. Ideally, you have a gold attack set instead of just a regular attack set like this. I feel like that would be better on Raya, right? And then penetration is okay, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like crit rate might be better on Raya specifically. That way you have a higher chance to land a crit with your special, maximizing your damage. So could definitely have better sets. In terms of like what gear I have on him, it's all attack, right? So all attack is the way to build Raya to give him the most amount of damage. So that's the kind of gear you should be putting on him. So it's not terrible overall, but I need some like more plus 12s, right? And stuff like that. And this is actually the same exact gear I run on my Red Asta for taking on the other stage of the squad boss. So you can run that gear for both Raya and Red Asta and actually clear 2 of the squad bosses. So hopefully that helps you guys out a little bit. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.